Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to my channel. Today I am going to show you all my brushes and brush accessories that I think brush holders and other kinds of brush accessories that I think could be useful if you are just starting out with watercolor. These are of course watercolor brushes, and some of them are not really just for watercolor, but you can use them for other types of media as well, for other types of pigment as well. And yeah, as you can see, they're all there on the table and ready to be shown to the world. So let's get on with it. Hey guys, I am back. So first off, I am going to discuss my first set of brushes here. We're starting off from my most favorite, most used brushes. So right here at the center of the table are my most favorite ones. These are the silver brush black velvet series. For the round ones, I have this silver brush black velvet series 3000s. So the one that I use the most among these brushes here is the size 8, actually. This one, size 8. I don't really use a lot of big paintings. I mostly paint on A5 sizes or even smaller. I think the biggest one would be A4, or I think maybe I did something A3 or A2 before, but not very frequently. So the size 8 or the size 6 is the one that I use the most. So this is size 8. It has a nice tapered pointy tip, so you can have kind of precision as well. So these are the rounds that I have, the sizes that I have. I have size 8 and size 6. That's the size 6. And I also have a size 10, which I very rarely use. And that's it for the round brushes, the ones that I use at home. I also have a travel version of these round brushes, which are very convenient to bring home, to bring to travels and plein air painting. But first I will show you the ones that are the rigger type long ones that are very useful for drawing straight lines. I have the size 4 and the size 1 in a different series this time. It's 3007 series, script series. Okay, it's very, these are really very useful. I use these brushes very often. And I also have the flat 1-inch wash brush. If you're making a big painting, it's very useful to have a big wash brush like this one. This is really good. But again, since I don't do a lot of big paintings, so I mostly use this 1/2 inch and even the 1/4 inch flat brushes from Silver Brush Black Velvet. And as I have mentioned, I also have some of them in travel versions. Are very convenient. These are of the different sizes. I have them in size 6, size 4, and size 2 Voyage brush. They have a different series number. It's 3100 ST, so I guess the T is for travel. I can't open them for you, so I'm very carefully laying them down so that they don't make so much sharp noises that are not pleasant to the ears. So you can see, comparing it with the non-travel one, it's really just the same brush, except that this one is more convenient to bring because you can put it inside the bottom part of the holder of the holder, and can put it inside like that to protect the brush bristles. So it's very convenient for travel, and I use this a lot. I use these travel brushes a lot. They're indispensable. So yeah, these are my favorite travel brushes, and as far as I know, they are synthetic, or if not, I think a mix of synthetic and non-synthetic, I think. But you can Google it for sure. So these are my favorite brushes: silver brush, black velvet brushes. So I'm going to put these ones aside, and we move on to another set here that you can see on the side. These are also my favorite brushes. Particularly this one, the Winsor & Newton series. It has been erased, but it's a sable, finest sable brush made in England. It's size 6. So this one, as you can see, is a round brush, size 6, but it doesn't have a very pointy edge, pointy tip. So you can do more loose types of painting for this one. It's really nice. It absorbs a lot of water. So I also use that a lot if I want a more loose version of the painting. This one is a Princeton Velvet Touch 3950R. I got this from Jackson's Art Supplies, I think, from the UK. Size 6 as well. But you can see the difference of all the size 6 brushes that I have. This one doesn't take so much water and it's a bit more stiff. This one is more round and it's softer because it's real hair. And where's the other size 6 that I have for the black velvet? Yeah, this is the silver brush, black velvet brush, which has a pointier tip. Same here, but this one has a thinner body, and this one has a more round, more volume in it. So you can choose the type of brush that is best suitable for the kind of painting that you want to do. Yeah, but it's important to really get to know the materials that you use for your painting, which one is more applicable to the type of technique that you want to get, and the painting that you want to accomplish. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna put this down. These are the size 6 brushes, and I also have this Winsor & Newton size 0 fine tip brush. I use this quite a lot, so I guess series 7 is the same as this one. I'm not sure. No, okay, this is also sable brush, Winsor & Newton. I use this also quite a lot for details and fine lines when I do small areas in the painting for precision. And I also have this one from Escoda Reserva, size 0, Kolinsky, Barcelona. It says there, if you can read it. So you can compare the two of them. I use them interchangeably. I think the Escoda size 0, Escoda Reserva, has a finer tip than the Winsor & Newton series, but they're both very, very useful brushes. And it depends on the detail that you want to accomplish. So I think the Escoda Reserva size 0 has more precision than the Winsor & Newton series 7. But they're both really good brushes. And yeah, what else? Yeah, still on my favorite brushes, I have these travel brushes from Da Vinci. This is Da Vinci Casineo, size 6 or 8. I think it's size 8. You can see that when it's dry, it has a rounded, fluffy tip, but actually it can get a pointy when it is wet. And this is one of my favorite brushes to bring with me during my plein air painting or travel painting trips. And also the small version of a rigger brush, because I don't really want to bring my small rigger brushes, all these 3 with me when I'm traveling. So I replaced these 3 rigger brushes with this one, which is more convenient to bring because it has a protective covering, and it's lighter, I guess. No, easier to carry around because of the covering. Yeah, these are my favorite Da Vinci brushes. They're quite pricey though compared to silver brushes. But if you ask me, I prefer using this than the silver brushes. Just because most of the time I like to do more loose watercolor paintings than less loose watercolor paintings, and I think these brushes are more appropriate for loose watercolor paintings. Okay, then we move on to these brushes from Raphael. This Raphael size 3 was my very first watercolor brush. I got it here in France. It's le 803 Petit Gris Pur. It says there 3 stars. I don't really know what that means, the 3 stars. Le Petit Gris. Petit Gris, it means little gray. Pur. Pure, it means pure. Pure, little gray. I don't know what that means really. 803, 803, I think that's a series number. So this is size 3 according to their standard. The brushes, what I find really confusing about the brushes is that they don't really have a standard across the board. It's just like they can say whatever kind of size they want for a particular brand, but does not necessarily correspond to the same size of another brand. Like, for example, if you look at the silver brush, Black Velvet, this is size 6, and this is size 3 of the Raphael. They really don't look the same. Anyway, this one resembles more the size 6 of Winsor & Newton, just because they both have a rounded tip, but this one has a longer brush, longer hair than the Winsor & Newton one. Although I prefer the silver brushes and the Winsor & Newton ones, and yes, I prefer especially the Da Vinci ones over the Raphael. It's not really one of my favorite brushes, but what's nice about this is that it's really light, and it's not really a terrible brush to practice on when you're just a beginner, or if it's if you cannot yet afford to buy expensive brushes, because comparing to the price of the silver brushes, Black Velvet series, Winsor & Newton, and Da Vinci, these Raphael brushes are the least expensive. Also, it's a bit confusing. I tried to size down a bit, 2/0, and this one is 3/0. They look the same. The 2/0, it's a little bit bigger, actually a little bit longer, but it's about the same. So I think that if you want to size down, you should get the bigger number instead of getting the smaller number, which appears to be slightly bigger than the number 3. The number 2 is slightly bigger than the number 3. And yeah, but that's really weird because this one is a size 4. So in the same series, it doesn't say 803 though, but it has the same Pedigree Pure name. This one is made in Germany. I thought it was a French brand. Okay. Yeah, this is size 4, and it's like I would compare it to like a maybe size 12, or even bigger size of the silver brush Black Velvet, because this is the size 10, and this is the size 4 for Da Vinci Pedigree Pure. Yeah, this is a good wash brush actually. I didn't really like using it when I tried using it, so I think I've only ever used this once, but I can say the same for the silver brush Black Velvet. I only used it once because I don't do huge paintings actually. But maybe once you get the hang of it, like how much water it holds, you can have more control of and you can master how to make proper use of your brush. So really, it depends on your mastery of your brush, like getting to know your materials. So, and perhaps the kind of paper that you have also, and practice. Okay, up next, we go to my flat brushes that I don't use so much. Oh, actually, this Leonard brush, size 20, I use this a lot as a wash brush, just to wash a huge area of paper really fast. This is not actually a watercolor brush. You can use it for other kinds of media, maybe acrylic or oil Not sure, but yeah, this I didn't find this in the watercolor brush section, definitely. Yeah, and this Jack's series, I bought these size 12 and 24 when I was just beginning when I was just starting out with watercolor. I don't really use them so much because they don't really hold a lot of water, so it's defeats the purpose of being a wash brush, but I guess they will be useful for lifting if you like that technique, you know, lifting off color and that hasn't really completely dried or even completely dried, just putting some water on the brush to lift off some color. Stiff brushes like this are useful for that. Yes, speaking of stiff brushes, I also got the same smaller versions in Raphael, size 6 and 10. Precision, Martre, Imitation Sable. So it's supposed to be sable imitation. Yeah, these are stiff brushes, as I said, good for lifting off or maybe even making some straight lines, but I prefer actually to use the rigger brush for that and the slightly softer flat brush for that, like the one that I have here on for silver brush, black velvet. They're softer than these guys here. I don't use them so much, but they could be useful from time to time. So yeah, these are some of my flat brushes, and they're quite cheap actually. Raphael and these Jacks, they're really cheap. Okay, more of the brushes that I don't use so often. I have these brushes here that I've used once or never. I have this big hockey brush. I was just curious. I got this from Jackson's. It's size 24 hockey brush. I ordered it online from Jackson's from the UK back when before Brexit, pre-Brexit, so the tax was and the shipping was cheaper. So yeah, this is quite useful when making a huge painting to wet the surface faster and to add texture, like for maybe making some clouds and things like that. Yeah, it could be useful. So I've used this maybe once or twice when I tried to do a big painting. Hockey brush. And also this one, I just found it cute because it has a bamboo holder, and this is actually travel brush. You can take off the top. I also got this from Jackson's Art Supplies, and yeah, can tuck it in there, which is not big enough actually, but well, I can twist it around like that. There, and you have a nice cute travel brush, and you can use the other end as well for making lines and lifting off areas of watercolor. There you go. It's really cute, this brush. And this one, yeah, it's Chinese calligraphy brush. I haven't used it yet. Hopefully one day I can use it. I don't remember where I got this, but I think I got this from somewhere, shop online, and it was on sale, or I think from one of my travels. Oh yeah, I remember now. I got this from one of my travels, maybe somewhere in Spain, I think. And this one as well, I got this from one of my travels, either Spain or in Biarritz, same as this brush. And it's a calligraphy brush. It's actually quite nice. Maybe I can have a piece of paper here. Yeah, you can see here I was doing a little bit of calligraphy. Not exactly calligraphy, but yeah, and it hasn't dried out yet. I've had this for like I think 2 years now, Yeah, and it still works. I should use it more often. Yeah, so that's it for some specialty brushes here. And also, I got some really cheap brushes that I get from my travels. Like this ones. This ones I think I got from Hong Kong, from Daiso. It's a set. I got it from Daiso, I think maybe in Hong Kong. On the way to the Philippines, we stopped by Hong Kong. So it's a stiff brush. And yeah, it can be quite useful for making trees or for doing some color sprays, spraying some colors, sparkles on the page. And I have it in different sizes, and of course it's Daiso, where everything is $2. I think in Hong Kong it's $5, 5 Hong Kong dollars, I think. Yeah, and I have it in a smaller, flatter version that I think I got here in Toulouse. I just bought this like for convenience because it will fit in a small container than these longer brushes. And this ones, if you remember in one of my videos, I bought this in Arch Art Supplies in San Francisco from my travels back in the summer of last year. And they're really fluffy and soft. I've tried using them, but not so much. I've tried using this small one once. And yeah, they're good also for clearing the paper of erasures when you do some erasing and stuff like that. So I don't use these brushes so much, but this brush, yeah, as you can see from the discoloration, I use it quite a lot. What else do I have? I think this is the last set of brushes. These brushes are gifts, or I don't know, not exactly the ones that I use very often. Yeah, I have this is Da Vinci Maestro Kolinsky 10, a German brush, a size 8. So because I'm a big fan of the Da Vinci brushes, so I got this, but I rarely use it. I don't know why, because maybe it's tucked away somewhere where I don't see it very often, but I should really use this more often. So that's size 8. Kolinsky Da Vinci. This is a gift from a friend, Sir Raphael 0. It's a flat and tiny flat brush. I think this is something that is not really much for watercolor. Yeah, so when I maybe try some other kind of medium, maybe it will be useful. Also, this one's one of my very first brushes, because I didn't know yet the kind of brushes that are useful for watercolor. So this is a fan brush for mostly for oil or acrylic, size 2. I had fun with that though. I drew some trees in one of my first few paintings, and these are brushes that I got in Singapore when I was studying to do some painting, abstract line painting on Chinese paper. I don't know where I put those paintings, but it's been a long time. I will try to find them one of these days. These are more of calligraphy Chinese brushes. Now we have some extra light coming in from the window. Sorry about that. I hope that's all right. Okay, so yeah, and this one is not really a brush. It's an eraser. It's a precision eraser. The tip is an eraser, and it is just to wash away the erasures and the traces of rubber from the eraser, which I find quite useful when I'm trying to draw or sketch before doing the watercolor. And just for fun, this is something given by a friend. It's a brush to clean your computer. And I was thinking of showing also some of the brush holders that I have, but I think this video has been already too long to do that. So yeah, I think I will do that next time. I will show you my brush holders and brush accessories in another video separate from this one. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm putting back here again all of the brushes that I have shown, and I hope you have a good and restful weekend. That's all the brushes that I've accumulated over the years. And yeah, this year I have been painting for 5 years now. Can you believe that? What a journey. And it's still an ongoing journey. And I hope you keep painting and you keep smiling. And cheers, guys. See you next time. Bye.